building because we are now surviving Diddy Glover, and we must meditate. We must meditate. I mean, this is completely insane right now. This man cannot stay out of trouble to save his life during survival. Y'all gotta smash that like button as soon as y'all come in the building. Smash that like button. We are now surviving Diddy Glover. Salute to Miss Red, Miss Simpson, Pure Survival. I know everybody missed me. I see the Pure Survivals coming in the building. Diddy Glover is back at it again. And this is pure Stone Cold Survival. We have a man that just went to court. Look at this man. All the sexual harassment, all the freak offs he had to attend during survival. He had to have a judge to grant this man a restraining order. This is crazy. And y'all wonder why I meditate during survival. Nobody told me that there was a man that's in prison. Diddy Glover never even been in prison yet. Pure survival. So how do you got a man in prison filing a restraining order against this man? This is how you know that Diddy Glover was a savage. You know what I'm saying? All that dancing and all that, he tried to take that and take that and take that. Tried to take that man tasty cakes. Look how sad he looked during survival. Look at his headline. He not only is he scared, but his headline is scared. The man had to go get him a restraining order. Y'all got to smash that like button. This is breaking news. This is breaking news. The shit just happened today. Well, no, the man went to court yesterday, pure survival, and the judge granted him a restraining order. So you know that Diddy Glover had to been hitting on this man. He had to experience the butt-naked gay vampires upside down. You see, he ain't had no garlic on his neck. Pure survival. If he had to go to Diddy Glover's Freak Off Fest and he didn't have no garlic on his neck, so you know that the butt-naked gay vampires got to him. Pure survival. And I feel bad for him, and so does the judge. You know what I'm saying? And everybody keeps saying, what's going on with Diddy? Well, update. There's a man who just got a restraining order on Diddy Glover, and he was granted the motherfucker. So that's how you know that the sexual harassment was real. You know what I mean? Miss Pan Laglingo in the motherfucking building, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we all in the building. Antonio Montana. Yo, Bill, I think that's my uncle, y'all. Pure survival. Listen to what the judge had to say and how he granted this man who dealt with all this sexual harassment, had to survive all these penises that Diddy Glover done tried to force down this man's throat. This is very sad and traumatizing. I need y'all to put y'all prayer hands up for this man's butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? But he was granted his sexual harassment thing, and he said that Diddy tried to R-word him. He tried to R-word him. He tried to take it. This is crazy, guys.
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
A man who's been in and out of prison since the 90s and is known in the Michigan criminal justice system for filing multiple lawsuits and appeals has a new target in his sights: Sean Diddy Combs. As the rapper faces legal attacks from all sides, what does this latest information mean for the disgraced rapper? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
You see this shit? They said, what does this mean for the disgraced rapper? They calling him a disgraced rapper. Pure survival. This is crazy.
And this week, he was granted a temporary restraining order against rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who has been in the news quite a lot. in the past few months, and Mr. Smith's reasoning is very, very interesting. Now, I want to quickly thank Upside.
Now, hold on, y'all hear that, right? The reason why he got this restraining order is very interesting. You are about to hear some of the most sickest, traumatizing things that you ever can hear in your lifestyle. And in your lifetime, pure survival. So if you got any kids that's around, please cover their ears. This is going to get very sick and very gruesome.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Today we're going to introduce you to quite a character, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. He is an inmate at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility out in Michigan, and this week he was granted a temporary restraining order against rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who has been in the news quite a lot in the past few months, and Mr. Smith's reasoning is very, very interesting. I want to quickly thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of Sidebar.
Now he's thanking his sponsors right now. Let's get to Diddy Glover. This is the judge granted this, so you know that this really happened. He sexually harassed this man. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go get you a boyfriend. You got to go ahead and force somebody to be in a relationship with you. All the money you got, and you try to take advantage of this man during survival. This is crazy.
In the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records, label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City.
Look at all these freak off names this man got. Pure survival. Even the judge is like, what the fuck? How many freak off names do this man got? Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Freak Off Combs, Pure Survival, Sean Mr. Take That, Take That, Take That. This man is traumatized after all he was going through at that freak off. This is crazy. Men is going out and getting restraining orders. So imagine how Cassie felt when he was chasing her down in them Christmas socks. Pure Survival. When a grown-ass man got to go and get a restraining order on this man.
In the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records, label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean Puffy Combs. And this is file number 24-7362NO. We'll grab your paperwork here real quick of this other paperwork. We do have Mr. Cardello Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Sir, where are you currently located?
I'm located at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility, 2500 South Sheridan Drive, Muskegon, Michigan, 49444.
So this man that was sexually harassed and taken advantage of by Diddy Glover, he's in a prison in Michigan during survival. So these men, not only are they afraid for their butt cheeks during survival, they're going out and getting themselves arrested, trying to hide from Diddy Glover. But somehow Diddy Glover have butt warriors like Felice Johnson that's in prison. So they going out and getting restraining orders during survival. They're trying to protect their butt cheeks even in jail. Diddy got connections, goddammit.
Corrections, sir, where are you currently located?
I'm located at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility, 2500 South Sheridan Drive, Muskegon, Michigan, 49444, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Or Your Honor.
Thank you. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and or a temporary restraining order.
Y'all see that? He's getting Diddy for sexual assault. Now, y'all remember Diddy trying to sell his house, Pure Survival. He's trying to sell a mansion to try to get this man to stay quiet. He's trying to silence him he's trying to silence him but open his butt cheeks, pure survival. And the man is getting him for sexual harassment, and he must stay safe. We must put our prayer hands up for this man. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to smash that like button. This is very hideous, and this is breaking news.
And or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardillo Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and or a temporary restraining order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on two actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. He did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's two meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr.
So Diddy Glover has been visiting this man in prison. Pure survival. Do you hear what he's saying? He's been visiting this man while he's been in jail, trying to get him not to put out this sexual harassment, this restraining order. He's been visiting him, trying to pay him off to silence him during survival. Look at his mouth. You know how many times he had to have his mouth open wide like that at Diddy Glover's Freak Off Fest? Pure survival. You wanted him to open his mouth when you wanted him to make a wiener disappear. Now you want him to be quiet. No, the man is not going to be quiet. You wanted his mouth wide open when he had to make somebody's penis disappear. Now he's speaking out.
In order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on two actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. He did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's two meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life.
Wow. So y'all hear that? So all of what happened to him, pure survival, when they ran the train on this man, when Diddy Glover and whoever else ran, the male sex workers ran a train on this man, pure survival, hit him from the front, hit him from the back, hit him from the side, come all in his eyes, pure survival. And Diddy tried to tell this man, I got all these other lawsuits going on. I got a bunch of stuff going on in my life, pure survival. I need you to drop this case. He's trying to get this man to drop this case, visiting him in jail, trying to offer him money, and the man is not going for it. Once you take a man's virginity like that, you took this man's virginity and gave him the McDonald headline. Gave him the McDonald headline sign. Pure survival. No, he's not gonna stand for that. Him or his headline is not gonna stand for that. Y'all gotta smash that like button. We are surviving this man getting his tasty cakes taken, and Diddy's been visiting him the whole time. We wondering where Diddy at. Diddy trying to stop this man from telling on him. Now he got a restraining order. Pure survival.
There's two meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million.
Wow. So he offered him $2.3 million. Pure survival. Diddy Glover, this is what you should have offered Cassie. Now that you sat there and played games with Cassie and you ended up losing $30 million during survival. You offered this man $2.3 million to not tell that y'all done took this man virginity and he in jail. I don't know what he in jail for, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? But Diddy got connections. And if this man been hitting the tasty cakes and he don't want his cakes taken no more, so now he had to go get this restraining order. He offered him $2.3 million to be quiet. This is just sad and this is very traumatizing. Y'all got to get them likes up.
And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. and he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that he's going to be selling his property, and under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881-2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And
wow, so Diddy Glover's trying to hide his money, pure survival, but he can't hide the fact of what happened to him. You know what I mean? And to lose his virginity, and he told Diddy Glover, I don't want you. I don't want to be with you. I'm not trying to date you, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? And Diddy Glover went ahead and allegedly take that, and took that. And this man just wants justice. You know what I mean? He probably had to get stitches in his rear end, all kinds of shit. Y'all got to get them likes up, man. This is breaking news right now.
He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah, he said, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
Wow, Diddy said, you know how we get down. And the dude said, no, I disagree with how you get down. Pure survival. I never wanted to get down with you. So I don't know how you get down. Diddy said, you know how we get down. That's very aggressive right there.
With having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah, he says, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Cadello Smith, okay. So you went in a different direction than I thought you were going into. I thought we were just gonna focus. No. You kind of went off in a different direction than what your actual motion was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case, are probably better not. Yeah, they're not to be placed on the record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that. So if we can just backtrack and focus just on your motion for chair. Okay, thank you.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan, then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison.
All right, so Diddy Glover must have been having I don't know if they had a love affair, pure survival, but for some reason, this man had property. Diddy had property in this man's name, pure survival. So he got money tied in with Diddy. And I don't know if they started going together and they started becoming intimate and he didn't want it no more, pure survival. And Diddy Glover was like, no, we're going to still keep loving on each other. For some reason, this man is afraid for his life and afraid for his butt cheeks. And he got his money tied in with Diddy through houses and all kinds of shit. This is just a whole mess. Smash that like button.
He tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid his responsibility in these.
Okay, so he's saying so Diddy Glover won't be able to manipulate the system like he's been manipulating the system, you know what I'm saying, and try to sell his property so he can take off and run pure survival. This man is like, no, what you done to me, you gotta face this. You gotta face this. I'm not letting you run. And then you got properties in my name and stuff. This is very sad and traumatizing. You know what I mean? Like the man can't even keep his mouth closed. Pure survival. This is sad.
With it. And an injunction or a restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid his responsibility in these matters here. That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening. Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money, and him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me.
Now, I don't know what he mean by him selling the properties. If Diddy Glover get a chance to sell his properties and get the, I'm thinking like he gonna be able to run, because he's saying that if he get a chance to get the money, he gonna be able to get out of the situation. Like he not gonna have to be liable for taking this man's virginity. So this is crazy.
Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money, and him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties. There won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much.
Yes.
So Cardello Smith, who claims he met personally with Combs over the last few weeks, wants this injunction to prevent Combs from selling property. And why does this matter? Because you might remember that in July, as we reported, Combs had listed his home in the Homely Hills area of Los Angeles for $70 million. No word yet on whether there's any takers there, but that is the same home that Homeland Security agents raided back in the spring, reportedly in connection with a sex trafficking investigation by the Southern District of New York. Now, to be clear, no charges or arrests have come.
So that's the house that the man is Diddy's trying to sell that house because he knew about this stuff. That's why it's so crazy. Nobody knew that he was visiting this man in jail for weeks. For weeks, he's been sneaking and visiting this man that he done taken advantage of, pure survival. This is awful.
As a result of that, but we're continually following that developing story. Now as Judge Anna Marie Anzalone stepped away from the bench for a moment to check on another piece of paperwork, Cardello Smith kind of made chit-chat with an attorney who happened to be in the courtroom.
All right, I'm going to check one more of your filings. So I'm going to step off the bench for 2 seconds and I'll be right back, all right?
Yes, Judge Anzalone.
Thank you.
You with the defense?
No, sir. I'm having a hearing and they stopped the hearing so you could be heard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Nice time.
Thank you.
Couldn't wear one. They don't give us ties.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Right. Yeah, there is.
But they clip-ons, you know.
Yeah. Clip-ons are the best, aren't they?
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion. And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S. District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And
Yes. Okay.
Anything else?
Now I don't. Now he might not be able to. TL the lounge. He might not be able to sell his freak off home under these freak off allegations and stances right now. Pure survival. This is the reason why he's getting the restraining order, because it's going to stop Diddy from selling the freak off mansion. He won't be able to sell a freak off mansion. You know what I'm saying? So this is just, man, he got a lot going on.
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as it seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th of 2000 and, let me see, is that 24?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's take a look at the complaint that Cardella Smith filed here, that this temporary restraint.
So he got Diddy had got served some shit this year, just in July, and this was not public. This shit is public now, but this was not public. So he really kept this under wraps. Pure survival.
Order is in connection to. Now, Cardella Smith claims that in 1997 he was a bartender at a restaurant in Detroit. He says he was invited to a gathering at the Holiday Inn where Combs would be partying. The complaint reads, quote, plaintiff was excited to attend this gathering and did so because this was Sean Puff Daddy Combs, Bad Boys. Plaintiff had...
Wow, okay. So
Celebrate now.
Now we about to hear what Diddy Glover did to this man. We're going to hear what he did to this man and how he took advantage of him and took this man's virginity in 1996. This is crazy. Y'all got to smash that like button.
Puff Daddy Combs, Bad Boys. Plaintiff had participated in and consumed alcohol with Mr. Combs and the ladies and other security. Puffy was shockingly cool and someone who seemed like a really decent, normal guy. Cardell Smith goes on to allege that he participated in group sex with several women and Combs, but said that when Combs showed an interest in him, he immediately got up and sat on a couch.
Wow. So the man said that he was having a freak off, pure survival. The man is saying that he was having a freak off with Diddy Glover and a bunch of women, but then Diddy Glover wanted to only have sex with him. Like he started showing interest in him, pure survival. So the man, look, we partying these hoes. We partying these hoes. But Diddy Glover must have been looking at his rear end or something, or looking at, you know what I mean? He was attracted to the man more than he was the women. And wanted him. Diddy was wild.
He says he was invited to a gathering at the Holiday Inn where Combs would be partying. The complaint reads, quote, plaintiff was excited to attend this gathering and did so because this was Sean Puff Daddy Combs, Bad Boys. Plaintiff had participated in and consumed alcohol with Mr. Combs and the ladies and other security. Puffy was shockingly cool and someone who seemed like a really decent, normal guy. Cardell Smith goes on to allege that he participated in group sex with several women and Combs, but said that when Combs showed an interest in him, he immediately got up and sat on a couch. By the way, a little side note here, these allegations are very similar to what has been alleged in several lawsuits that have been filed against Sean Combs since...
And that's what's going to make it look bad, because everybody else is saying the same thing about Diddy Glover. And all the other lawsuits, pure survival. When Diddy done got talk people into participating in these freak-offs, especially the men, Diddy ended up being more attracted to the man, pure survival, than the women. So what this man is saying and why he went and got this restraining order, pure survival, it makes sense. Like Diddy Glover was more attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is going down, man. This dude, and all the men in prison, you ain't gonna have to worry about taking advantage of them, Diddy, because they gonna want you. You know what I'm saying?
Cardell Smith goes on to allege that he participated in group sex with several women and Combs, but said that when Combs showed an interest in him, he immediately got up and sat on a couch. By the way, a little side note here, these allegations are very similar to what has been alleged in several lawsuits that have been filed against Sean Combs since November of 2023. Recall, he's facing allegations of sex trafficking, rape, harassment, abuse, and so forth. But Cardella Smith's complaint states, quote, I then went to get another drink, and Sean asked me if I needed something else. I said no, and he said, "Here, drink this one." And I thought it was another glass of Jim Beam, so I took it because I had sat one down in the other room, and then I drank some more. And I stayed sitting there and began getting drowsy and started to pass out. And then Sean Combs said to me, "I added a little something to it for you. I will get that from you anyway, one way or another."
Wow, this is pure survival, guys. So the man said he did not want to sleep with Diddy Glover. He didn't want to have sex with him. Diddy Glover, the boy thought he had a glass of Jim Beam. You know what I mean? So he started drinking whatever Diddy Glover put in his drink. You know what I'm saying? And the man passed out, buck ass naked, pure survival. And and Diddy said, what he say? I will get that. Meaning I'm gonna get them tasty cakes anyway, one way or another. And then I passed out. Wow. So Diddy R-worded him. Pure survival. What did that sound like to y'all? Like the man Diddy went and put some shit in the man drink and said, "I'm gonna get them cheeks. I'm gonna get them cheeks no matter what. Like I'm gonna get them no matter how this." Wow. So he done took and got that man drunk and then put some shit in his drink and nailed him. That's
Sean
crazy.
asked me if I needed something else. I said no, and he said, "Here, drink this one." And I thought it was another glass of Jim Beam, so I took it because I had sat one down in the other room, and then I drank some more. And I stayed sitting there and began getting drowsy and started to pass out. And then Sean Combs said to me, "I added a little something to it for you. I will get that from you anyway, one way or another." I then passed out.
Damn.
Cardell Smith claims that when he woke up, Combs admitted he sexually assaulted him when he was unconscious.
Wow.
Cardell Smith claims that he left.
So Cardell Smith, this is this man, Cardell Smith. He's saying when he passed out pretty much and he woke up buck ass naked and Diddy was standing over him with his taco in front of with his pecker in his face. And he said and bragged to the man that I hit that last night. Pure survival. That I hit that last night. That's crazy.
From you anyway, one way or another, I then passed out. Cardell Smith claims that when he woke up, Combs admitted he sexually assaulted him when he was unconscious. Cardell Smith claims that he left, he never went back. He alleges he filed a police report, but couldn't talk about what happened to him. He says therapy in prison helped him realize that he was a victim of rape. And he goes on to claim that Combs paid off police to keep the whole thing quiet. Quote, "The defendant paid Detroit and Monroe police officers to keep it hidden, and they hid it very, very well, and have kept it hidden for many decades, but not anymore."
Wow. So he's saying that the police, this man is saying the police, Diddy Glover paid the police. So they knew that Diddy took this man's virginity, pure survival, took this man's virginity, paid the cops off, and they just let this shit just go unheard. The man had to seek therapy, counseling. You know what I'm saying? Imagine he's sitting in jail watching Diddy dancing all around, like all over MTV, BET, knowing like, damn, that's the man who raped me. That's the man who hit me in the tasty cakes. This is pure survival at this point.
From you anyway, one way or another, I then passed out. Cardell Smith claims that when he woke up, Combs admitted he sexually assaulted him when he was unconscious. Cardell Smith claims that he left, he never went back. He alleges he filed a police report, but couldn't talk about what happened to him. He says therapy in prison helped him realize that he was a victim of rape. And he goes on to claim that Combs paid off police to keep the whole thing quiet. Quote, "The defendant paid Detroit and Monroe police officers to keep it hidden, and they hid it very, very well, and have kept it hidden for many decades, but not anymore." So in the complaint against Combs, Cardell Smith is asking for $100 million. And then Cardell Smith makes the claim during this hearing, and this is where it takes an even bigger turn, that Combs and or his associates came to the Michigan prison in person to offer him $23 million instead.
So if Diddy went to the prison and visited this man and offered him $2.3 million, then you know that he's guilty. Pure survival. And every picture that I see now with Diddy, his mouth is wide open. You know what I mean? His mouth is wide open. This man was going to this jail trying to get, because see, the man is suing for $400 million. Diddy like, listen, just take this 3 million. Don't tell nobody that I hit that back in the day. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? And the man is not trying to have that. This is crazy. You know, this Diddy was a wild boy.
He goes on to claim that Combs paid off police to keep the whole thing quiet. Quote, the defendant paid Detroit Monroe police officers to keep it hidden, and they hid it very, very well, and have kept it hidden for many decades, but not anymore. So in the complaint against Combs, Cardella Smith is asking for $100 million. And then Cardella Smith makes the claim during this hearing, and this is where it takes an even bigger turn, that Combs and or his associates came to the Michigan prison in person to offer him $23 million instead. So then Combs lists his Los Angeles property as being up for sale, and Cardella Smith takes an issue with this. Because in his motion for the temporary restraining order, Cardella Smith claims the property sale, transfer of title, or deed should not take place because it is being done so for the sole purpose of depriving this plaintiff of any monetary judgment that would be entered in favor of the plaintiff in the event this matter went to a jury trial. Now, the judge looked over this paperwork, heard his argument, and actually granted the injunction, the temporary restraining order, to stop Combs from selling property for a period of 90 days. You don't always see that.
Wow, so Diddy Glover can't sell no property, so now he's not going to be able to run. Oh, man, this is bad for Diddy Glover, pure survival. So he can't go sneak off with Russell Simmons or none of that. The judge done granted this shit. So trying to sell property right now, I don't know how this is going to work. But damn, Diddy, you ain't going to be able to run from this. That's a piece of no Diddy tasty cake that you going to wish you never had.
Because in his motion for the temporary restraining order, Cardella Smith claims the property sale, transfer of title, or deed should not take place because it is being done so for the sole purpose of depriving this plaintiff of any monetary judgment that would be entered in favor of the plaintiff in the event this matter went to a jury trial. Now, the judge looked over this paperwork, heard his argument, and actually granted the injunction, the temporary restraining order, to stop Combs from selling property for a period of 90 days. You don't always see that. Non-attorneys winning legal motions, arguments, so that was a big deal. Then again, he kind of has a history of filing legal papers, so he might have learned how to do all this. But also, Cardella Smith wasn't done yet. No, he also wanted to have a default judgment entered against Combs because he claims that Combs didn't file an answer, which is a legal response, to the summons. And so the judge let him know about next steps.
So you're going to have to file the affidavit and request for default, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
And obviously you'll be able to file that before our pretrial date anyway, okay?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Okay, so
Right,
the order
so-
was granted?
The order, your ex parte motion was granted, or your motion for a temporary restraining order was granted. I've signed it. And so we'll get that processed and back to you, and then you'll have to obviously serve that on the parties.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can you?
So he got the restraining order, Diddy Glover. So this is something new. This is something else. It's going to be all over the place. This shit just came out. Inmate accusing P. Diddy of the R word. Gets a win in court. This is crazy. Another Diddy Glover took another loss from some freaky shit that he did back in the day. And, you know, people is coming back for justice during survival.
Any, Your Honor, can you add on your order any Michigan representatives of him acting on his behalf for Michigan properties as well as part of that order? Or does your order cover everything?
You provided the order, so I'm going off
Yes,
the
I
order.
did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I'm going off the order you provided to me, and I've signed that order already.
That's what I
Okay.
needed. Thank you. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cardella Smith, and we'll make sure the writ's done, and we'll see you back in September. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Come here.
Thank you.
So it seems at the very least he's going to be able to present an argument about default judgment, meaning he automatically should win this. But we will see if the court ultimately accepts it, and Cardella Smith is going to be scheduled back in court in September. But I want to give you just a little bit more background here about him, because I think it's important. It puts it all in context. So Derek Lee Cardella Smith, sometimes known as just Derek Lee Smith, is very well known to the Michigan court system because over the last couple of decades, Smith has filed dozens of criminal appeals and civil complaints to the point that some officers of the court have allegedly called him, quote, a nuisance. For example,
So this man is called the nuisance because he's in court and he's just been filing all kinds of lawsuits and different things like that. Well, against the jail probably. Yeah, I mean, but that has nothing to do with his love affair with Diddy Glover. It has nothing to do with his secret love affair. The state of Michigan.
example, that includes a lawsuit that he filed against the Archdiocese of Detroit, Assumption Grotto Church and School, St. Jude Parish, St. Judge Rectory, St. Jude School, plus at least one priest and one Monsignor claiming he was sexually abused and was silenced when he tried to report what happened to him. Now, his court record indicates that in 1998, he was convicted of 2 counts of third-degree sexual conduct, and when he was paroled and while out, prosecutors say he committed more sexual offenses. He was convicted in 2008 on 6 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct.
So this dude is a freak too. You know what I mean? So it doesn't surprise me that he got hooked up with Diddy Glover. So this man was out doing freaky shit his own self. You know what I'm saying? First I felt bad for him. Now that they just said that, no, I can't feel bad for you. You know, hopefully they wasn't little kids. Pure survival. But so this man was a sexual predator his own self.
It's that in 1998, he was convicted of 2 counts of third-degree sexual conduct, and when he was paroled and while out, prosecutors say he committed more sexual offenses. He was convicted in 2008 on 6 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, 2 counts of kidnapping. He pled no contest in that case, and then in 2019, he was convicted of 4 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Cardell Smith has appealed all of those convictions over the years, contends that he was falsely accused of rape in 1998, yet that he was set up by the police. Recently, Cardell Smith has attempted to file multiple documents with the Michigan Court of Appeals.
So I don't know about Cardell Smith at this point, pure survival, but for him and Diddy Glover to hang with each other, now he's saying Diddy Glover R-worded him. They saying he R-worded other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what they say, 2 motherfuckers, some shit. They both got some sick shit going on.
Smith has appealed all of those convictions over the years, contends that he was falsely accused of rape in 1998, yet that he was set up by the police. Recently, Cardell Smith has attempted to file multiple documents with the Michigan Court of Appeals, many of which have seemingly been rejected because they were filed incorrectly. And remember, Cardell Smith is representing himself, so that wouldn't be surprising. Now, in a recent opinion, a judge for the Western District of Michigan wrote that Cardell Smith has, quote, filed many habeas corpus petitions in this court and the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan. Each of his prior petitions has been denied, dismissed, or transferred to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals as second and or successive. Now, by the way, habeas corpus is a legal challenge to one's detention, saying it's unlawful. But that same judge wrote this opinion back in 2018, quote, petitioner has also filed a number of habeas petitions that related to prison conditions or misconduct determinations. Courts have dismissed those petitions because the issues raised were not cognizable on habeas review. Additionally, petitioner has filed...
Yes, you was right. Birds of a feather flock together. So, yeah, I ain't even going to stay on this, but this man got a lawsuit, a restraining order on Diddy Glover. This is breaking news. We're gonna see what happens with this. And yes, YouTube, I'm about to contact y'all again because they have not been sending out my notifications. Pure survival, but we're gonna still get through this. This might be Tisa Tells Lies work or Gene Deals kneecaps. But salute to everybody. This is pure survival at this point.